In the lush forest of the Yoruba kingdom, the animals lived in harmony under the rule of their wise and just king, the lion named Oba. Oba's reign was marked by fairness, but his patience was frequently tested by the antics of a cunning tortoise named Yonibo. Yonibo, known for his willingness, often found himself at the center of disputes, especially involving his best friend, a gentle rabbit named Ihoro. One sunny morning, as the animals gathered for their daily duties, a commotion erupted near the riverbank. Yonibo had convinced Ihoro to help him gather the sweetest yams from the communal farm. Yonibo, always scheming, had promised Ihoro that they would share the yams equally. But when they reached the farm, Yonibo's greed took over. "Ihoro, my friend," Yonibo began, his eyes glinting mischievously, "why don't you dig up the yams while I keep watch for any approaching animals? We wouldn't want anyone to accuse us of stealing, would we?" Ihoro, trusting as always, agreed and began to dig. Sweat dripped from his brow as he unearthed the large, succulent yams. Yonibo, however, lounged in the shade, occasionally glancing around but mostly daydreaming about feasting on the yams. As the sun reached its peak, Ihoro had gathered a substantial pile of yams. "Yonibo, I finished. Let's divide them now," he panted, wiping the dirt from his fur. "Of course, Ihoro," Yonibo replied smoothly. "But first, let's hide them in my burrow for safekeeping. We can't let anyone see us with these yams or they'll get suspicious." Agreed, and they carried the yams to Yonibo's burrow. Once inside, Yonibo's true nature surfaced. "Ihoro, I'm afraid there's been a change of plans. You see, I did all the hard work of planning this, so I deserve a larger share." Ihoro's ears drooped in disappointment. "But Yonibo, we agreed to share them equally. Life isn't always fair, Ihoro. Besides, you can have a few yams for your effort," Yonibo replied, pushing a small portion toward his friend. Feeling betrayed, Ihoro left Yonibo's burrow, his heart heavy with sadness. He decided to seek the wise Council of Kinoa. The lion, known for his fairness, would surely resolve this injustice. Ihoro stood before Oba's throne, recounting the entire incident. Oba listened intently, his golden eyes narrowing as the story unfolded. Yonibo, summoned by the king, arrived with a smug expression, confident he could talk his way out of any trouble. "Yonibo," Oba began, his voice resonating with authority, "is it true that you tricked Ihoro and took more than your fair share of the yams?" "Your Majesty," Yonibo started, his voice dripping with false innocence, "I merely took what I deserved for my strategic planning. Ihoro did the physical work, yes, but it was my idea." Oba, sensing Yonibo's deceit, decided to teach him a lesson about fairness and the consequences of disobedience to moral principles. "Yonibo, you have repeatedly caused trouble in our kingdom. Today, you must learn that cunning and greed will not be tolerated." Turned the yams to Ihoro and decreed that Yonibo must spend a month helping all the animals in the kingdom with their chores, supervised by Ihoro. Yonibo's pride was wounded, but he had no choice but to obey. As the days passed, Yonibo found himself working harder than ever before. Under Ihoro's watchful eye, he helped build nests, fetch water, and gather food for the other animals. At first, he grumbled and complained, but gradually, he began to realize the value of honest work and the importance of fairness. One evening, after a long day of labor, Yonibo sat with Ihoro by the river. "Ihoro," he said quietly, "I owe you an apology. I've learned that my tricks and schemes only bring trouble. You've been a true friend, and I've treated you poorly." Ihoro smiled, his gentle nature shining through. "Yonibo, it's never too late to change. True friendship is built on trust and respect. I'm glad you've realized this." Yonibo had transformed. No longer the deceitful trickster, he had earned the respect of the other animals through his hard work and sincere apologies. Oba, pleased with Yonibo's change of heart, lifted his punishment and welcomed him back into the fold with a wise word of caution. Yonibo, remember this lesson well, Oba advised. Disobedience to what is just and fair brings only trouble. But with humility and honesty, one can find true friendship and harmony. From that day on, Yonibo became a model citizen of the animal kingdom. He and Ihoro remained best friends, their bond stronger than ever. Yonibo's story became a favorite among the animals, a timeless tale of the consequences of disobedience and the rewards of honesty, teaching generations the values of fairness and true friendship.